What's up guys, this is Jake with Casual Ecommerce, and in this video we're going to be covering some of the best Shopify apps that you can use in your store going into 2020. So with that said, I'm going to be covering 6 different apps in this video, and each of these apps serves a different niche function. And I know there's some people out there that are proponents of using 20-25 different apps on your store, and a lot of kind of useless or fluff style apps, and that's not really what I would recommend, because if you use too many apps, it's going to slow down the loading speed of your store, and the more and more different like pop-ups and things like that you have on your store, the less professional it's going to look. So I would recommend sticking to a smaller amount of apps to keep your store loading speed fast and to keep your store looking clean and professional, and that's going to help you stand out from the rest of the competition. So with that said, we're going to be covering 6 apps in this video, and I'm going to leave a link to each one of the applications in the description below, so be sure to check them out. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first app is Smart Search and Instant Search, and this is an app that's going to enhance the capability of the basic search function that comes with any Shopify store. So as you can see here, it's got over 800 reviews with an average of 4.9 stars. So pretty much everyone that uses it is liking it a lot. So the main function of this app is it's going to essentially streamline the search process. So let's say you have a visitor on your store and they have a general idea of what they want, but they don't know exactly which product they want. So maybe they just want like a red t-shirt or something. And what they can do is they can go on there and they can search for that, and then they can set different filters, whether it's via like a price range or sizes or color or anything like that. And it's going to help people find exactly what they're looking for. And in doing so, whenever you make the customer's buying process easier and more convenient, that's going to lead to increased conversions. So that's why you would want to go ahead and use this app. The more products you have and the more different categories and stuff like that you have, the more value you're going to get out of it, because that's going to be more and more products that people have to browse through. So it helps a lot with organization and helping the customer get from point A to point B and then being able to check out. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to just go ahead and show you an example of this on an actual site. So if we head over here to designeroptics.com, which is a site using this app, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of the features. So if we come up to the search bar, and if I start typing anything, you can see even by just putting one letter in here, it goes ahead and gives me some suggestions right here, popular suggestions, and then we can see different categories as well. And we can see different pages, and then we can actually see products as well. And you can see that it loaded over 11,000 items relatively quickly, so there's no delay in loading time. And if I were to continue typing out Gucci, and let's say I were to like misspell it, you can see that it can still go ahead and give me some popular suggestions right here. So even if I misspell it, it can autocorrect it right here. So now let's go ahead and just search for something. And now we can go ahead and take a look at the results page. So you can see that right here, there's a ton of different filters that they've went ahead and utilized that we can go ahead and narrow our search by. So the more products you have and the more different types of products you have and categories and such, the more valuable this is going to be, because it's going to save the customer a lot of time, because they can go ahead and narrow down and find exactly what they're looking for. So let's say they don't want to spend over $200, they could go ahead and put that in, and that would narrow the results. Or they could go ahead and say, I am just looking for male glasses, or I only want Gucci. And yeah, so we can go ahead and go through the lens size. Let's say we want just 50, and you can see that it went ahead and narrowed down based on everything I selected here. And that's going to go ahead and make the process of searching for the exact product that you want a lot easier for your customer. So now if we go ahead and just open up this product real quick, we can also see that the app will also show recommendations down here as well. So maybe they found a product that they like, but they're not completely sold on it yet. They can come down here and look at different recommendations as well. So it's a very multifunctional app, and it provides a lot of utility. Like I said, the more products you have, the more categories and such that you have, the more value you're going to get from it. As far as pricing goes, it is free to start out. There's a free plan which gives you 25 products, and then it's $9 a month once you get over 25 products up to 500. So relatively cheap pricing given all of the utility you're getting out of it. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, which is Crush.pix. So this one is an image optimizer. So essentially the primary purpose of this app is to increase your site's loading speed. So a lot of times whenever you upload photos, whether it's product photos or just photos like as part of the store design or in product descriptions, they're not going to be properly optimized, meaning that their file size is going to be a lot larger than necessary for them to look good. And the thing is, if you don't know why that's bad, the more things that your website has to load up every time somebody clicks on your page, the longer it's going to take for the website itself to load. And if your web page takes 2-3 seconds to load, most people with the short attention spans that a lot of people have nowadays, they're going to go ahead and just back out and go to a different site if your site doesn't load really quickly. So that's why we use apps like this, because what this is going to do is it's going to optimize your photos. It's going to make the file sizes smaller while still keeping the photos looking really high quality. And doing this is going to allow us to go ahead and have our pages load quicker, which is going to lower our bounce rate, which means less people are going to click on our site and then leave before the page even loads. So this is a must-have app. You absolutely have to have your photos optimized because page loading speed is one of the most critical things in e-commerce. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. Just go ahead and set it up. So the third one we're going to get into is Looks. So Looks is a review app. So this is another pretty standard app that you need on pretty much any store. So if you haven't noticed already, there's a pretty common theme with every app that I'm going to be talking about in this video, and that they're pretty much standard and necessary for pretty much any store, no matter what you're selling. They can pretty much be thrown in there, but they're more so bare bones apps in the sense that they're not crazy flashy stuff that you don't need, that's just going to go ahead and slow your website down and add a bunch of useless clutter and not really help you out. So this app, as you can see, has over 3,000 reviews, so it's got a ton of reviews, and it's got a 4.9 star average as well, so a lot of people are liking it. And this is my favorite review app by far. So this app provides a lot of good functionality and features, and you really want product reviews on your site because that's going to be one of the biggest things to help raise conversion rate. I'm sure most of you by now are pretty much regulars buying on Amazon at this point, as most people are. And how many of you would go on Amazon and look at the reviews before you're going to go ahead and buy the product? That's pretty much all of us at this point, at this day and age. So if your store doesn't have reviews, it's just going to look really fishy. So you absolutely have to have a review app, and Looks is the one that I recommend. If you are doing drop shipping from AliExpress, Looks lets you go ahead and import reviews straight from AliExpress, so you can kind of start out with reviews ahead of time, even if you don't really have any yet. So if you want to see a video on how to set that up, I have a single video where I show you how to set up Looks and import the photos from AliExpress and stuff, and I'll go ahead and link that in the description below. And I also have a special link for Looks where you can extend this 14-day free trial to a 30-day free trial, and that link will be in the description as well. So like I said, I'm not going to dive too deep into this because I already have a separate video showing you how to go ahead and go through the functionality and set up everything within Looks itself. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know that this is the best review app for Shopify, and it's the one that I recommend. And if you need help setting it up, go ahead and reference that video in the description. So we're going to go ahead and go to the next one, which is Clayvo. So this one is going to handle all of your email marketing. So there's a lot of different email apps out there, and I recommend Clayvo because it has a lot of advanced functionality, and there's a lot of you can kind of do everything that you would want to do with emails all in one dashboard. So you can go ahead and do your abandoned cart emails, which is something that is essentially a free way of increasing revenue. So whenever somebody visits your store, they add something to cart, but they don't complete checkout. You send them a couple of emails to try and get that person to come back and finish their purchase. You can offer them coupons and stuff like that. So abandoned cart emails are pretty standard in e-commerce, and it's something that you need to be doing. If not, you're leaving revenue on the table. And with Clayvo, there's other things you can set up as well, like your newsletters. So I'm sure you guys have plenty of different newsletters from big companies cluttering your email inbox every day. Maybe big name stores like Macy's or Walmart, wherever you've purchased anything from, you're going to notice that they normally send you promotions at least once a week. And since you're trying to start an e-commerce brand as well, you're going to want to be doing the same thing. So you can send out those emails and do all of that within Clayvo as well. So you can send out your newsletters, you can set up your abandoned cart emails, and things like that. So an email marketing app is 100% necessary because email is back-end revenue, which is really good because you're not really paying for these customers. So once you get people on your email list, marketing to them is free. So unlike running paid advertising up front, where let's say your profit margin's $20, but you paid $10 for that customer, when people are on your email list, if somebody off your email list buys something and the profit margin is $20, you're going to keep all $20 worth of that sale because it's essentially free marketing because you already have their email. So not using email marketing is just leaving money on the table. So I would recommend using Clayvo for that because it's essentially all in one. It's got a really easy to use dashboard and functionality, and you can set up all the emails you want within one hub, which keeps things very simple. So the next app we're going to be looking at is Lucky Orange. So this is a heat map, and what it does is you can kind of see exactly what your customers are doing when they're on your store. So you can see heat maps, and you can actually see live video recordings of your customer on your store. So you can go ahead and see different what are they clicking on most. So which links are your customers clicking on the most? Is there a certain part of the checkout funnel where a lot of customers are dropping off? Is there a certain thing that isn't working? Is there a broken link? Are a lot of customers trying to click on a photo and the photo is not clickable? There's a lot of insights you can get from this, and what you can do is you can look at all of this data. You can look at the video recordings, you can look at the heat maps, and with this data you can tailor your site around your customers' behavior and then optimize it. And doing that is going to really help increase your conversions a lot because you're going to be able to figure out why customers aren't buying. You can figure out what part of the checkout process they're dropping off at, and it's really easy to use. So it's pretty cool. You can see stuff if you've never seen a heat map before. This is what it looks like. So you can see these areas right here in red would be what's being clicked on the most. So you can see what part of your product page and stuff where it's getting the most clicks. And then, like I said, you can go ahead and watch the videos and go ahead and see all your recordings as well to see what your customers are doing, how long they're spending on each page, to see if they're getting confused or stuck at a certain point. So this app is very effective and very helpful. It gives you a lot of useful information, so I'd highly recommend it. And the last app we're going to be covering in this video is Aftership. So this app just helps with tracking and notification after your customers make a purchase. So in the age of Amazon Prime and just pretty much the majority of big e-commerce brands nowadays, customers expect to know exactly where their product is every single step of the way. So they want to know exactly, when the order's processed. They want to know exactly when the product's shipped. They want to know, what state it's in or what country it's in at this time. And they want to know, when it's a day away, and they want to know when it's delivered. And this is just the type of luxury that the majority of customers are used to when it comes to buying things online nowadays. So if your store doesn't provide this, it's going to make you look really bad, unprofessional, and most likely you're not going to get repeat customers if you're not able to provide such a simple and essentially required service at this point. So this app is going to go ahead and update your customers on where the product is along the delivery process. It's going to go ahead and you'll be able to create a tracking page to where they can input their order number or their tracking number, and they can go ahead and find out where their package is, and it's going to provide those updates. So it's going to give your customers a lot more peace of mind, and this is also going to really help to lessen the amount of customer support emails you get where they're asking, where the hell is my package? Because, they're already going to know. They're going to be able to check right on here. So this is going to help a lot with customer support. You can see it's got over 3,100 reviews, an average of 4.8. So a lot of people are liking it. And if we just click on right here, you can see like this is what it would look like. So, this is what your tracking page would look like. They can go ahead and they input their order number or their tracking number, and you can go ahead and see it will go ahead and give them an estimated delivery, and it would show where it is and the tracking history and everything like that. And you can even set up little upsells right here by putting a little product in here on the tracking page to try and get them to buy something again, or you can promote your social media and so on and so forth. So with that said, that's going to be the last app that I'm going to cover in this video. I'm not saying that there aren't any other valuable apps out there. However, I would recommend to try and keep it simple and just stick with these core apps that provide core e-commerce functions, and don't try and add 10, 20, 30 different apps to your store, because it's going to add a lot of clutter. You don't want your store to look like a fireworks display, and you don't want its loading speed to be 10, 20 minutes. So with that said, go ahead and check the links in the description to check out all of these apps. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave any questions you have in the comments. Subscribe to the channel for more content, and I will see you guys in the next video.